What's cracking, cousin? It's your favorite cousin Ken here at the Lighthouse ATL. This is the Divine Feminine headquarters, and yes, this is your favorite cousin Ken from the YouTube channel Can Be the Light. I know many of you are like, Ken, where you been? What's been going on? Well, I took 3 years off from work to work on myself. So no relationship, no job, no business, no nothing. Just strictly working on myself. And I have been guided to come back and help a powerful community of women that are deciding to do the same thing. No longer working hard, releasing all toxicity from your life, and connecting to your true divine feminine identity. I will be here every week, every Monday, with spiritual guidance for you ladies. I'm so excited to work with you, and congratulations to the new you. Hey cousin, it's your favorite cousin Ken here at the Lighthouse ATL. Okay, so today we are going to be talking about a few different topics, and shout out to our cousin because you gave me these topics today. You did not leave your name, but that's all right. You know, we gonna get through it, okay? But to everybody who's out there listening, if you have anything that you would like for me to discuss, then just, send me an email, or you can go to the Lighthouse website and scroll all the way down to the bottom, and you'll see where it asks, what we should talk about on the next topic. And just leave a topic there, and I will get those emails, I will get those messages, and I will add it into the list because I have a whole list of topics. So I just choose from the list that I have here. So our cousin today, she wanted me to talk about modesty. She wanted me to also talk about sexual sin and self-pleasure. So we're going to be talking about it. Now, those are 3 different topics, but I see how they all tie together because a modest woman that carries herself with self-respect and self-control and self-awareness, a woman that is self-aware, then of course she's not going to be living in sexual sin. And when it comes to sexual sin, I really don't like to use the word sin because of the way that I grew up. It just, that whole connection with the word sin and the Bible and all that type of stuff, it just, for many, many years, it had me feeling like I could not do certain things because, I was going to be punished for every single thing that I did. Like I was just not worthy because I fell short of sin, sin and all this other type of stuff. And for many years, this is just a little sidebar, a lot of people don't know that I grew up very religious, and for many years there were certain things that I did not do. So I didn't watch certain movies, I didn't go to certain places. My children, I raised them very strict when they were young. They couldn't have certain things. It was just over the top. It was way over the top. And I was still just as lost. Okay. I was doing all of these things and allegedly disciplining myself and my children and living this strict life so that I could not live in sin. And I still had no clue about who I was and why I was here on this planet. So when it comes to the word sin, I don't like to use the word sin, but I do like to acknowledge the fact that there is a way for us to disconnect from spirit. Now, that is true. Certain behaviors and certain things that we do will disconnect us from the source. And I think that a lot of us, we just live our life like how everybody else is living their life, and we don't see that there's a problem with it. We don't see the issues that will come up in our life based off of our decision because, of course, everybody else is living a certain way. So, like, for example, most people are not married. You'll find a lot of people that are in relationships, they live together, they even have children. I was one of them. Most of the women that I know are living like that. They are living with their man, they have their partner or whoever, and they even have children, but they're not married. They're not in a committed relationship. And I know for a fact that living that type of lifestyle, it disconnects us from spirit. Period. No matter how much we love the person, no matter how much we want to be in a relationship with the person, no matter how many kids we have with the person or children or whatever, it disconnects us from spirit because we put that person or that man as a priority, and we don't put what we know is right as the priority. So we know, even from being teenagers and raised in the church, or wherever you get your foundation, wherever your Christian foundation or your Islam foundation or whatever it is that you were raised believing. We all grew up knowing that we should be married before we have sex. We all have heard this. We all know this. And there's a reason why. The Spirit of all, the Creator, our Creator, is not just trying to keep us lonely and miserable and by ourselves. The reason why we do not have sex outside of marriage is because we'll be in the situation that most of us are in now, all right? Raising children by ourselves, having all these health issues, and all these other things that come along with not being in a committed relationship. It's not a game. It's really not a game. And I know that for most women, we want to be married. We want to be in these committed relationships. But a lot of times we're dependent on the man. We're dependent on the man. If it sounds like, that's because I got this microphone. So, you got your headphones on, turn them down, turn them down. But back to what I was saying. Now, we depend on the man to decide if we're going to be married because, of course, he is the one who has to ask you to marry him. That is up to the man. And most men are not, they're not doing that. They just are not. I don't know if it's because of their fear of commitment or whatever it is. They're living however they want to live. They don't feel like there's a need to be committed to one woman. They feel like they can do whatever they want to do or whatever the case may be. The men are not marrying women the way that they used to. It's just not common. And as women, we have learned to accept it. That's what I believe. I believe that we have just accepted the fact that most men don't want to be married, or they're not taking it serious. They're not connected to source in a way where they have that reverence and respect for the Creator and what the Creator wants. So they just live however they want to live. And in order for us to be with them, then we decide that, okay, well, I'm just going to have to be with him and we just ain't going to be married. It's just what it is, And that's a problem. That's a big problem. And I'm just speaking from my own experience. I know that if we are not committing to our relationships with each other, then there's no way that it's going to work. It just doesn't work. And I'm not saying that when you're married to a person that can't fall through either, because we can choose to marry a person that we choose, the person that we want to be with, or a person can choose to marry us. But that may not be the partner that is meant for you, your divine partner, which is somebody that I believe Spirit will direct into your life when it's time, when you are developed, when you're ready. So listen, we can go down and down and down this rabbit hole of marriage, but at the end of the day, if we're not married and committed to each other, then Spirit's not blessing that. That is not a union that Spirit is going to bless. And this is the thing. It's just like life, right? How we get everything that we want, right? Especially here in America. We get so many so-called blessings. I'm going to say, quote, blessings, because we look at the material and the things as a blessing when really Spirit is the only blessing. All right. But we have so much and we're distracted by that, and we feel like that is a blessing. So we can be in these relationships and feel like our relationships are blessed because we're having these experiences together. We are, going on these trips, or we have a nice house, or we have nice vehicles, and we have all these different things. And we feel like God is blessing us in our relationships, even though we're not married. No, it's not. It's not. You're just basically being allowed to do whatever it is that you want to do. That's it. And that's all it is to it. We have the free will, so-called free will, to decide whatever it is that we want to do. But for a modest woman, a woman who really wants to live in alignment with Source, she knows that even though we can live in relationships with these men, we can have the sex with these men if we want to, it will disconnect us from Source, and it's just not worth it. It's not worth it. And Once you get tired of being sick and tired, I'm telling you, you get to that point to where you're just like, guide me. You pray and you ask for the Creator to just guide you. Like, what is best for you? And then when Spirit starts to guide you from within, you start to follow the guidance. And 9 times out of 10, if you're in a relationship with a man, that relationship is going to be the first thing to go. It's going to be the first thing to go. The next thing to go is going to be the job that you're working on or whatever you're doing just to make money. Because Spirit is going to show you that even if you don't have a man, even if you don't have that job or that business or whatever that thing is that you're doing to take care of yourself, that the source, your source and Creator can still take care of you. And you will live a certain lifestyle where I don't even think you really think too much about being modest or covering up and stuff like that. You don't even think about it. It's just normal. It's just normal because you know that you are really a sacred woman. Like you hear them talk about a sacred woman. You recognize that you are sacred. But when you're out there and you're living however you want to live, you don't really have that mindset. And I know I didn't. I didn't have that mindset for many years. I just didn't have that mindset. I was just working and living my life and just existing. And that's what most people are doing. They're just existing. But when you get tired of just existing and you really want to live on purpose, then you have to go back to Spirit. You have to go within. You have to search and see, okay, what is it that is disconnecting me? What is blocking me from source? And if you're having sex and doing all that type of stuff, it's just going to block you. And people don't want to hear that. People want to do whatever they want to do. And that's just a fact. And people will always be like that, I think, and that's the reason why things are going to change very fast, because Spirit has allowed us to live like that for so long, and that time is over. It's over. No longer can we live like that. We have to either get in line with Spirit and the divine plan, or listen, we get set down. It is what it is. So that is the modesty portion of this conversation, talking about modesty and sexual sin and how it disconnects us from Spirit. Now let's talk about sexual self-pleasure. Now, this topic right here is very, very, let's say, it's a little risque, okay? I'm a little shy when it comes to talking about stuff like this. I don't like talking about sexy stuff. I know, right? You like, kid, girl, grow up. Look at them kids you got. You got all them children over there talking about you don't like them out there. That's age. But I just don't. I don't like it. Okay, anyway, let me talk about it. Let's just go there, okay? Now, when it comes to like sexual pleasure, and this is what Spirit revealed to me, all right? And it's a message for me to share, because I know that a lot of people do it and they feel like, okay, well, if I'm not having sex with anybody else, then that's okay. I should be okay to pleasure myself. And I'm telling you the reason why we should not do that. I'm not saying that, it's your life. You do whatever you want to do. But the reason why we shouldn't do it, or we should think twice before we do, is because we are releasing our energy every time we do that. Every time. And in the spirit realm, when you release that energy, a lot of times it's connected to a lustful thought. Maybe sometimes you're watching something that makes you feel, lustful inside. You may be thinking about a person, and all this, So your mind is going to a place where you're connecting to this energy of lust. And there are spirits in the spiritual realm that are connected to that energy as well. And when you release your sexual energy, and you're also in that vibration of lust, then you basically, I'm hearing like summons those spirits, all right? And it's the truth. So you release that energy, but you also release that energy to other spirits as well. And that is the truth. And that's the danger of doing that. So you're not really alone, even though... That's why I want to talk about this, Kathy. But, you feel like you're alone. But if you're alone, then why do you feel like, oh, I got to sneak and do this? You know what I'm saying? I shouldn't be doing this, because most of the time when people are doing it, they're like, sneaking around or doing it and it not really connected to the fact that, you're not alone. Okay, you're not alone. And that's the reason why a lot of times you feel like you gotta hide and do it, or sneak and do it, or something like that. But when you hold on to your sexual energy, then you're not releasing from those lower chakras, and there's light that's connected to your chakras. Okay, so the brighter and brighter and brighter those lights are that are connected to your chakras, the stronger they are, the stronger your chakras are. But as you release the energy from those chakras, then it becomes weaker and weaker and weaker. And then the things that you feel like, maybe you weren't doing before, it seems like, oh, it's okay. If I just try to do this thing or try to do that thing, and then the next thing you know, you're doing all kind of other things in other areas of your life. And it all started because of the self-pleasure. Okay, so that's the reason why we don't want to open up no doors and no gateways to lower energies. We just don't, because when we open up ourselves and open up our energy to these forces, then we start to get these suggestions, or we start to get these ideas to do certain things, and then before you know it, you're wrapped up. Okay, you're in an entanglement. So it's best to just wait. You're going to have a divine partner. And this is what I know. The longer you go without having the sex, you don't desire it as much. I'm telling you what I know. If you're in a relationship, then yes, you will, because you will be having the sex all the time. But if you're not in a relationship, then you won't desire it. It's just like I told you on the last live I did. It's just like people who don't eat meat. Some people will look and say, oh my God, I can't believe, you sitting here at the table and you don't have no meat on your plate. You don't want any meat? And they're like, no, I don't want meat. I don't eat meat, and I don't desire to eat meat at all. And people outside will look at this person like, wow, how do you have the discipline to do that? It's not even discipline at a certain point. It's not even that. It's just that you stop doing certain things, and so your body doesn't crave those things anymore. And that's with anything in life. Cousin, I've had so many addictions, and I used to drink and smoke, and I told y'all all that type of stuff. Even when it comes to the food that I used to eat, I was addicted to eating food and shopping and all this type of stuff. But once you develop a self-control in that area, and you actually start to tell yourself, no, this is not what I'm doing something else, then you will automatically stop desiring that after a while. In the beginning, it's going to be difficult, but after a while, it's going to be like cake. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be so easy. You're not even going to be thinking about it. So when it comes to sex or self-pleasure or whatever, you won't think about it. I'm telling you, you won't. You will be so wrapped up in your everyday life, taking care of yourself, taking care of your family if you have family, working, doing whatever it is that you do for work or in your purpose, and you won't be thinking about it. But when you do get into a relationship, then, it's going to be on. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to be clean. And you got to worry about all the drama and the problems that come from having the sex out of wedlock and with whoever you want to have the sex with. Because let me tell you, it's dangerous out here in these streets, cousin. It is dangerous out here in these streets, and you never know what a person has, not only sexually. Okay, I'm not talking about sexually transmitted diseases. I'm talking about spiritually. You don't know what these people have attached to them. I told y'all that these men are going through so much, and I can just see it. When I look at a man nowadays, I look at them very differently because, of my own growth. And I can see when a man has those sexual forces, we'll call them that, attached to him. I can see them, and I know what they look like. It's very perverted. It's very perverted, and it's very nasty. And it's with the men and women, I'm going to say women too, because a lot of these women carry that energy too, because if you're having sex with a man and he has these connections, that's why I said it's best not to have sex with a man that you don't know is spiritually connected to the source, because he has nothing to regulate him. He has no boundaries and no end to what he can think about doing and what he does and how nasty and down in the down he can go. And trust me, these men are doing some of the craziest things. It's what? Oh my goodness. It's how Oh my God. Anyway, we didn't go there. All right. And women too. I'm not saying that women are off the hook, because women are picking up this energy too. And then they're like that. And a lot of times, women, you feel like, it's you that want to have all of this sex, or you have these desires and stuff like that. But you probably just need to cleanse. If you're one of those type of people that you desire sex a whole lot like that, you need to cleanse those energies off of you. It's time for a spiritual bath. It's time to do some cleansing. Time to do some, self-healing and some work on yourself, because anything that you crave and desire so strongly that it takes over you like that, that's an issue. That's an issue. And that's for men and women. That's an issue. And you got to check it, because like I said, it can start off just feeling like, you may just want to be, sexually active or doing something with one person or whatever. And before you know it, it can turn into something totally different. It's like, I don't even play in them games, because I'm telling you, I done had my time. I done had my children. Now, I would have another baby. I don't prefer it, but I would. But that's it. Like, really, listen, that's the whole purpose of sex anyway. Of course it feels good. But if it hurt, you wouldn't have it, and then we wouldn't have children. But the whole purpose of having sex is so we can have babies. That's the point. So it's not even about the pleasure part. I mean, it is, but it ain't. It's all about reproduction. But humanity has perverted everything that is good. It just makes everything that is supposed to be good and natural perverted. And even me, like, being shy talking about it, because I know how perverted people's minds are. I feel like, I don't know how people's minds be thinking. It just be nasty. So anyway, continue to be modest women. I know that my cousins, y'all out there working on yourself, definitely, cleaning your energy and stuff like that. And I'm just so thankful to be a part of a community of women that is growing and evolving and taking our self-care and self-respect personal. You know what I'm saying? We're taking it personal. It ain't about nobody else. It's all about us. It's about what we want and what we don't want. And there's nothing wrong with that. A lot of people will feel like you're selfish for putting yourself first, or deciding that you don't want to have sex. And if you're in a relationship with a man and you decide that, look, I don't want to have sex with you no more, I'm done having the sex with you, we ain't married, then no. We all out here taking these big leaps. We are all doing it. So if you're doing that, then you are not alone. I've definitely had to return engagement rings and do that type of stuff, because it's just not worth it to me to be disconnected from spirit. I'm talking about like my own spirit, like within. I can't live with the fact that I am living a life that I'm not happy with, I'm not fulfilled with. I'm just living and existing. I just can't be satisfied with that type of life. I've lived like that for years, and it's just not worth living. Like, it's a life that's not worth living, seriously. But to be connected to spirit and have this guidance and protection, we have so much protection when we're connected to spirit and we're doing things the way that we are supposed to be doing them. And I'm not saying it's right or wrong, okay? Because, I don't believe in right or wrong. But, it is what it is, all right? When you are connected to spirit, then there's a certain level and a certain layer of protection. You can't be touched, and certain things won't happen to you. And there's a certain healing that comes with that. But when you're out there living however you want to live, then all kind of things happen. And a lot of times we get caught up in that lifestyle, and all kind of stuff starts happening to us, and we don't know why. But it's because we are living life however we want to. If spirit says, and we all know from within, spirit will guide us and let us know, look, this person needs to go, or you need to start doing this, or you need to stop doing that. You will know. And when you get those promptings from spirit, you get them synchronicities all around you, you start getting those messages, and you start seeing numbers and all that type of stuff. Spirit is trying to get your attention real bad, all right? Real bad. And a lot of times it's to prevent something from happening to you. But if you don't pick it up, then things can happen. And that's how they get you. Them boys. I always tell you about the boys. They will get you. And they're not evil or wrong or none of that. That's just what they were created to do. Dark forces will kill, steal, and destroy. They're supposed to do that. But how do we keep ourselves away from those forces? We raise our vibration. We keep our energy pure and clean as much as possible. Even in the Bible, it talks about being perfect. And a lot of times, people will say, well, nobody's perfect. Not in your physical body, you won't be. You won't be. There's no way in your physical body you will have that perfection. But when you're connected to spirit, and your spirit, your higher self is now living through you, baby, you perfect at that point, okay? You got it going on, and you know what's going on in your life. You know what you want. You know what you don't want. You carry yourself with a certain integrity, a certain respect, and it's just different. It's just different, and it's so much better. And not only does your life change, but you change the people around you. And when you set boundaries for men, then they will start to look at themselves like, well, dang, maybe I need to check myself. Maybe I am a little bit out of control when it comes to my sexual desires and stuff like that. But as long as women just continue to give these men what they want and feed the beast, baby, they're going to keep taking you down. And that's what they're doing right now. And a lot of these men are just tired. They're tired. But they feel like it's normal for them to do what they're doing. And it's not. It's not normal to be out here having sex with all these random people all the time. It's not normal for us to be pleasuring ourselves. That's not normal. What's normal is a man and a woman, all right? And I did say a man and a woman getting married, and then y'all go ahead to the bedroom. Boom. Go ahead and do what you're gonna do. You see what I'm saying? I'm just saying, I'll wait forever if I have to. Forever, because I know what it's like living that life being disconnected. I know. And it's just, listen, it's not a life that's for me. And I'm praying for every single person that hears me. And men, I know that y'all listen to. I'm praying for you, because I know it is tough. It is very tough to give up your desires and the things that you want and all this. Is so tough to live a life of discipline. But there's a reason why we're guided to live like that, and we're set apart. There's a reason why, because you want to stay in the game. You know what I'm saying? You don't want them forces to come for you, because when them boys come for you, baby, y'all hear me talk about them occult police. They gonna come for you, and they gonna come through and see, are you really living like you're supposed to be living? Are you doing what you're supposed to be doing? And if there's any way or anywhere, even a little bit where they can get in, they gonna come on in. Telling you what I know. I'm telling you what I know. So I'm praying for all of you out there, men and women. All right, we're gonna get together. We're gonna have these beautiful divine partnerships. I believe it. I'm gonna hold on to this belief. And what I know, Spirit is guiding me and telling me that there are some beautiful, beautiful divine partnerships that are coming together. But before they come together, we have to work on ourselves. We have to connect to Spirit. We have to get it right with the source first. We can't connect to the partner before we connect to our Creator and get our purpose and know our assignment, why we're here, what we came here to do. We have to clean up our life, and all those doors that we have open, we have to close them down. We have to do a whole bunch of work on ourselves. There's so much that we have to do. The last thing you're going to be thinking about is the sex. I promise you. When Spirit get a hold of you and you start cleansing and start rearranging your life and doing all this, listen, the last thing you're going to be thinking about is being with some men rolling around up in the sack. I'm letting you know. But it's going to happen. It's going to happen, but it's going to be right. It's going to be right. And a lot of you are going to meet the love of your life. That's what I'm hearing. The love of your life. Yep. You're going to be like, I never knew love like this before. Because you're going to be singing, where you been all my life? Well, you had to get in alignment. We all have to get in alignment. If we want these true divine partnerships, powerful, powerful partnerships, we have to be in alignment. And women being modest, going back to the house and taking care of the house and taking care of the children and eating better and learning how to cook to heal your family and learning how to make your own medicines and your own clothes and all those things. Listen, we going back to the crib, all right? So for all the ladies that are deciding to no longer work hard, I told y'all, join us in spiritual alignment class. We're already over there. All right. Commit to yourself. 4 weeks commitment to yourself. Learn how to love yourself. Learn how to take a break. Learn how to be disciplined. Learn how to be consistent. I got you. All right. I told you, I got you. Whenever you're ready, I am here. You have support. We have a whole Lighthouse family over here. You do have support and you don't have to do it alone. And on the days when it's tough, you will have support, but you have to make some tough decisions. A lot of us do. We have to make those tough decisions to remove those things that no longer serve us and to stop doing certain things that we feel like we want to do but are disconnecting us from spirit so that we can live as the divine feminine and we can be the example of what a real woman is. All right? We are the example. All of you that are listening to me, I don't care what phase you're at because we're all at different ends of the spectrum. All right? But we all are ultimately going to be the light and the divine feminine in this world. And we have to first learn how to love ourselves and respect ourselves, love and respect our Creator and what the Creator has to say to us. Let that be the final say over what we want and what everybody else is doing. And then we move forward and we do some things that's going to change the world forever. All right. So I love you so much. I hope this helps. I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hey cousin, if you're interested in joining our powerful community of women supporting each other through our healing and transformation journey, make sure that you look for the Lighthouse ATL on all social media platforms. YouTube, TikTok, not on Instagram, but Twitter, LinkedIn, everywhere else. Look for the Lighthouse ATL, okay? You do not have to do it on your own. We are done with these solo dolo missions, okay? We're going to work together. We're going to heal together. We're going to cry together. We're going to laugh together. We're going to travel together. Listen, join our level up movement and I will see you soon. Bye.